Ready for the ride? Vroom vroom. This is Boom Radio.
It is well. It's the boombar on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Salah Rogers. The bar on a Salah second day of Salah should be, more vibrant. But when you come into a realization that your colleagues are not what you think they are, it's a tad bit. Welcome to the boombar. Don't worry. Let me keep my problems to myself.
Full of innuendos, Shola, and I take.
In Yoruba, they say LFO, which in direct translation means someone who sells.
I will tell the whole world what happened.
Who sells weed? Sorry, who sells vegetables.
3 days ago, we had drug-free day or something. Yeah.
Okay.
So why are you still talking about weeds?
I said vegetable.
Vegetable.
You will be careful what you are saying on this bar. Oh. I'm telling you now. Because if they come and carry people, I'm not there. I'm not there.
Dolupo is the bar. You've forgotten. We have the license to.
Okay, you will land in the office. You say it's a bar. I'm not there. I don't know you people before. Okay. We have not met. I don't know what they're talking about.
It's fine.
Just be.
It is now that you do not know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the bar right here on your Boom Radio NG. The bar is officially open for today. Drums rolls, please.
All right.
Okay, so it's very interesting as we're going to be seeing. Of course, we know that President Tinubu is back in the country and he's doing things. He's going on with his doings, and today's doings.
The news is
Ogun State. It's officially his first state visit as as the president. Of course, we know that it's probably going to go around all 36 states, but this is I don't know if we'll call it an official visit. I'm not sure this is an official. It's not an official visit. Yeah, it's just going to see his own people. Anyway, so we'll definitely talk about that. A few things that has happened or is happening at the moment. As we checked, still in Ogun State, I think in Adeleke as we speak. So we'll get around to that. Also, there were a few doings yesterday. We know that officially Salah was yesterday. Why are you laughing?
It's quite memorable for some states.
Oh yes, that's what I'm saying. There were a few doings in places like Osun State yesterday.
Osun is in the news again.
They are in the news with their governor. They're definitely in the news. There's also news coming from Oyo State. There's a few updates of things that we had talked about, from data protection to the Titanic submarine.
The capsulation, yeah.
The what?
Submarine, yeah.
You said something. Yeah.
I said submarine.
No, that was not what you said. That was not what
it's you said. It's not a matter of POS now. It's submarine, I said.
No, you did not say submarine, but I will move on. Anyway, there are a few stories coming from different states. Also, there are a few sports stories as well, the football transfers. It is transfer season. So there we'll be talking about those and one or two entertainment stories, hopefully before the time runs out. So sit back.
And it's a sports story too.
Yeah, sports story basically. Sit back, relax as we go right into today's show. Okay, sorry for people that are just joined us for the very first time. My name is Olajuwon. The one and only. Here.
My name is Tokumba Ojekunle, so I kill the gap.
Anyways, I opened the microphone, opened the show more or less But since they like hearing my voice, and
I did not hear Shola Rogers.
Once
Neither
again-
did I hear Tokunbo
once
Jekule.
again, my name is the name she mentioned last.
Oh yeah, I see. Anyway.
Mine was before that.
Oh God, really? Really? Anyway, President Tinubu is officially in Ogun State. He was in town yesterday. He celebrated Salah in Lagos State officially as as the president. It was a very interesting one. There's a lot of hot takes here and there. The first time he was coming back to his home state as president, and there was the full walks. There was talks for like a day or two about the motorcade that accompanied him from the airport to his personal residence.
Yeah.
There's also a few conversations of whether he should be in his residence or the official presidential residence in Lagos State. That's another conversation. Anyway, following the president and what he's doing now, he's in Ogun State. There was news yesterday evening that he was going to Ogun State. He was going to see the Awujale of Ijebuland and the Alake of Egbaland. And there were pictures and videos of him in Ijebu visiting the Awujale, talking about the Awujale being his father, talking about the Awujale not being the father of Nadeko anymore, now that he's not the father of the president. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but this our current president has a way of rubbing it in your face, like in case you've forgotten, I'm still your president. Like he has a subtle way of, always like finding a way to just put it in there, like president. Like I don't know. Am I the only one that noticed?
I don't think you're the only one. It's just some very awesome presence of the president. It's been like that when he was governor. Yeah, there's always been a way he moves around and the way he commands himself. There's a way around him. And so I can imagine him as the president now, which, by the way, is a month exactly against today, yeah? Or
yes,
thereabouts,
yeah.
It's a month today. And he's still as imposing as he is, ever so imposing. His visit to Ogun State, for me, is almost like also, in quotes, a homecoming. Yeah? I'm coming back home. Let me see how you guys are doing and all that. And aside of that, as I said this about a week ago on this show, that with the current president, the buzz never stops. The journalism profession never sleeps. Everything back to back, there's news coming out, either of Aso Rock directly or just on the trail of the president. And I'm sure that many tabloids have people attached to that. So, but along the line, I still find that sometimes we get some stories that are not true. They say the more the stories are, the subtle way fake stories also come around. So expect some fakies and expect some trudies around.
Oh yeah, but this one, there's a video to that effect.
Yeah. No, it's not about this issue.
Yeah,
I'm
like
generally.
I'm just saying, like, okay,
that.
like the president just likes to remind you all. I remind you, I'm still your president. Anyway, do you have something about
that drama?
No, well, I don't know. Maybe because it's been 2 days or so. The major thing that people had talked about was the size of the convoy slash motorcade, and there were a lot of hot takes on it. People say you tell people to make sacrifices, and you're rolling in 100-car strong, convoy. And again, it's always two sets of people. There's a set of people who will say that, and they turn out to be majorly people who are in the opposition.
Yes.
And there's a set of people who will defend it, and they're usually people who are on the side of the government. Or, again, the in-betweeners who can look at things neutrally and still agree or disagree. Now, I know that when I saw the video, I had already said one thing. Can we not look for a way for Nigerian presidents to have their executive movement without disrupting the life of everybody?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we said this under Jonathan, we've said it under Obasanjo, we're saying it under Buhari, we've said it under Buhari, we're saying it under Tinubu. You know, when there's executive movement, especially in the air, there are times when planes are not allowed to fly for a certain window.
Because
then the roads, major roads are short, especially in a place like Lagos.
yes.
That, you know, the roads form the major artery and the main mode of transportation. However, it is also fair to be factual. It is right to be factual and state that not all those vehicles are part of the presidential convoy.
Yeah.
You have a convoy that had governors, a convoy that had politicians, a convoy that had the National Security Advisor, amongst other top security personnel. You know, him coming to town for the first time since he got inaugurated as they call him city boy. So coming to the city, you know, for the first time is a big deal for a lot of people. According to one of his supporters, if the security people had allowed, there would have been about 300 cars on the road that day. That's the number of cars that would have been allowed to join that procession from the airport to Ikoyi. So again, people have picked, you know, a lot of issues with that. And I say, yeah, you can criticize when you feel that things are wrong, but you can also be factual. So I know that it wasn't a presidential convoy that you saw. What you saw was a lot of people, you know, making their way to the man's house. You know, apparently he built a new house for himself. You know, within a short period of time, and you know, he's moved into that new house. That's where he went to. And I've also felt that he should have actually stayed in the official quarters. But what's most important is security.
Yeah.
So if the people in charge of his personal security had scanned the neighborhood and vetted the house and secured it, then it's fine. You have presidents who stay in hotels too, especially even when they go abroad. Don't they stay in hotels and all of that shit again? So we get that, but you know, I just hope that he might be the one to change this. You know, there are helipads around the airport. You get, and they're also. Is there a plane or something above?
Yeah.
That's strange.
I feel that too. But you see,
there are helipads in VI or Ikoyi.
Yeah,
so,
that he
so
could move.
so
Him going
it's,
to
his trip could have been
Ijebu
shortened.
today. It's a very short trip from Lagos, but it was a helicopter. Like they didn't have to be on the road.
It was in the air, right?
Yeah.
For that trip.
So that's what they should have done from Ikeja to Ikoyi.
Yeah, the motorcade thing you talked about, you know, just brings to light another flashback. You know, I enjoy flashbacks a lot. And I can tell you straight away that one of the, firmest head of state we had, who actually made that symbolic with the status of a president or head of state, was Yakubu Gowon in his days. And they were locked down. It was not a matter of, you don't have a choice. You just have to stay where you are until he passes by.
Yeah.
And whether you're going to the hospital or going to your wedding or whatever, it doesn't concern anybody. You just get locked down in that traffic, and it's always very. And then you know what?
And it makes
what
it
happens?
worse because
everybody talks about, they talk against it, but when the motorcade is passing, I'm telling you,
you actually want to.
you want everybody's on the road sideline and it's all waving, and so you just cheers all the way. But you've dropped something which I think we should look at.
Now that you brought
The
up Yakubu
economy,
Gowon.
yes, the economy, you know, is not no longer as friendly as it used to be.
So economy and security, we need to
Yeah.
balance it.
We have
now
to.
that you brought up Yakubu Gowon,
Yes.
it is also worthy to note that after Gowon was overthrown, or after he resigned or left, or whatever happened to Gowon that time.
Overthrown.
Yes, I know. I'm just being
Yep.
playful.
I know.
We got President Murtala Mohammed. He was assassinated in his car.
Yeah,
in
it was.
his car.
Yeah.
That's security too again.
Yeah, so people need to
Yes.
realize that after that action, subsequent presidents
We're not
stepped up,
With security,
their game when it came to
right.
security
Okay,
and
Wow.
so
everything.
because he didn't have a lot, so it
Very-
was
Yeah,
easy to get to.
he wasn't into the.
He was very
all this-
fearless.
Murtala
he
Mohammed.
could walk in the streets.
Could
He
walk
could
on his
just-
own.
But now, when
Yeah.
you really think about it and look back, you might not have. You might think you don't have enemies and all that, but the fact that maybe you're a president or head of state of a particular country already makes you a target automatically.
But of course, yes. Just yesterday we were talking about
So at times, wisdom.
the advanced party and all that will go ahead of a president or whatever. Shola was sharing an experience with me, and I thought he said he was at a function. Maybe you take over from here, where he was asked to. He was the masters of ceremony on that function, and all of a sudden somebody walks up to him and begin to ask him questions about who are those going to sit there, who are those going to take over there. They had changed seats because the president was going to come, but the governor was going to come. The details are there. The details of presidents or head of governors are very important. And you cannot but just, let them do their work as it is now. So for me, going back to going on air, traveling by air and on road, I don't know. I think most of our people get very cold on the feet when it comes to traveling by air.
No,
Some
but
people do.
no, this
Some
is
people
I don't think so.
You
No, some
traveled.
people
You traveled
do.
from Abuja.
Yes.
You went from Abuja to
Yeah.
Paris, from Paris to London.
Yeah, I don't know.
That is not even. You own about 2 or 3 private jets.
Very good. The
You get
airspaces are
so
different. Yes.
It's not.
And yeah,
It's not for
no,
him.
it's not argument
an issue.
really. It's just
But-
a point.
But we
I
need to
wonder.
get to a point
Yeah.
where we don't disrupt things a lot. I get why they do it. It's majorly because of security. And that's why you find that the advanced party had been there a day or two ahead. If a president is actually going to go
The
somewhere,
advanced party,
they don't
yes.
just wake up and say, we're going to one place. When you do that, you give your security team a lot of problems. If you just wake up one day and say, oh yeah, stop here,
Yeah.
which is not part of the schedule, you get. And you will see them kick against it because their job is to secure you, and they would have gone ahead to scan and
To
do a lot of
that,
things.
yes.
So there are things we need to put emotions aside, but that doesn't stop people from criticizing and condemning what they think is wrong. But it's also better to understand, what informs certain things and what actually happened. So 100 cars or 200 cars do not belong to the presidential fleet or the presidential motorcade or the presidential convoy.
Yeah, the convoy. Yes.
Okay, so moving on from that anyway, so it's official. The president is in Ogun State. I'm guessing he's probably coming back to Lagos today.
It's a tad bit disappointing though, because whenever I go to Ogun State, there's always some kind of bomb that he drops. The first one was Eminoko. It was in Ogun State. The second one was when he was talking about bag be naira akpamo.
Oh, yeah.
It's Ogun State. And bag naira akpamo means if you like hide the naira,
The
if you like
elections will
change the
hold.
color, keep fuel, we
elections will
will
hold.
and we will win, and that's what. So people were expecting some kind of Ogun State revelation. The revelations according to Bola Tinubu in Ogun State, or letter to Tinubu. Letter to Ogun from Tinubu.
What?
The book of Tinubu to Ogun.
I think it's fine.
Anyway,
It's
it's okay.
Ogun
It's
letter.
okay.
It's
It's
fine.
okay.
Oh, I
It's
get it.
fine,
The
it's
Ogun
fine.
letters.
Okay,
Okay.
talking about a few things that happened. Of course, we know that yesterday was Salah, that was official, and then there was the
It's still on, by the way.
yesterday.
Get is still on.
Yeah, after selling fuel, why won't you go to a party?
Shola Get Man.
Okay, you people just have to bring everything to the bar. Why?
It's at the
It's
bar. It's a bar.
It's a bar.
Anyway, you people.
It's a bar.
So we're moving from that, and we're moving to Osun State,
Mm-hmm.
where we saw a bit of drama happened yesterday at the praying ground,
Yes.
where the governor has now come out to say that he was rough handled by thugs and there was an assassination attempt on his life.
Are you sure the governor actually said? The governor of Osun State, Adeleke, said that.
Oh yeah, his aides, yes.
Okay, so we're quoting his aides, Abi?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I need to be clear who I'm responding to.
Oh, his aide said that he was rough handled and he was, according to them, he was whisked away. I saw a video of him
He wasn't being
on the
whisked.
phone and strolling out of the place. That didn't look like someone being whisked away. Besides, he does not have the body of someone that can be easily whisked away.
Well, you're body shaming here.
I'm not.
I'm not gonna take.
I'm
that,
not body shaming.
I'm not gonna take that from you.
She didn't
But-
send it to YouTube.
No. I speak on behalf of people who have been body shamed.
I am not body shaming him.
You know?
It is just obvious.
Okay, so
he doesn't
is-
look
is-
like
This is
someone
another
that can be.
chapter
She's
of
talking
this.
about. She's talking about his size.
We can talk about the
It's
size
phys-
after the
it's-
show.
I'm not happy about that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But let's leave that for after the show, like Tokumbo is trying to force us to.
After the show,
you know?
it's better.
Maybe we'll get a POS somewhere to, you know, bring on board.
Okay.
Now you said it.
Y'all
Now you have to
move
tell the
on.
story of the
Y'all
PO
move on.
because nobody understands the PO.
So, which means we just started. Now let's talk about this. Tokumbo made reference to an event that I discussed with him. I've been privileged to anchor a couple of events that had, you know, VIPs. I'm talking, you know, state VIPs now, governors and above, yeah. And you find out that there's a system and a protocol in place. It's what I've learned being an MC, that there are certain things in place. If there are certain things you can't say, there are certain things you can't do. There are things that you need to put in place. You know, it gets to a point where there are people standing next to you to say, okay, can you help us? Okay, you get all of those things. So no governor plans his day without having an advanced party and an advanced team.
Agreed. Yes. Sure.
That's one.
Or nobody,
So-
no governor should.
Should.
Maybe should.
Okay, thank you for the
Should.
insertion of the word should.
Should. Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, but I stand by my word. No governor plans his day.
Why he said should is because we obviously saw.
You can bring
drama.
your own.
So
This is my own bringing now.
should because
Okay.
what is expected.
I
but we
repeat.
did not see it
I
happen.
repeat again. No governor plans his day.
Please.
But there is a sitting governor
apologies.
that did
We are
not.
the bar.
That's
We
what
are
I'm
the
saying.
bar.
You
So are
will-
you
We are
saying
the
that
bar.
he's
You
not
now-
a governor?
Well,
wow.
I don't. You said it. You said it.
No,
Now,
don't.
I repeat.
Where were we? Where were
I don't know
we?
what you're
Now,
talking about.
you guys are only wasting
I
time.
don't know
I will
what
say
you're-
what I
No.
want to say.
I don't know what's talking
No governor plans his day, you know,
Okay.
in such a manner that he doesn't know where he would be at a certain time, subject to certain changes and influences.
Okay.
You know, like
Okay.
for instance, is that if there is a disaster or something different happening somewhere, you would shelve your original plans.
Yeah.
Do you understand? We get it. But let's put it in context. It was Salah Day,
Okay.
a day that was already announced by the federal government as, you know, a day for our brothers and sisters to have their Salah. You know, by the way, Eid Mubarak to all Muslims across the world.
True.
And a prayer ground, the Yid, like we're saying, you're right, Yidi. You know, where they go to play.
Yes.
Yidi. We call it Yidi, although it's Eid. But
It's Edie.
you know, Yoruba, we have our ways.
Edie.
Yeah.
My
So-
weary.
It's a place that is structured and organized, you know?
Okay.
And trust me, some churches might permit it, but some churches don't. If you're going to come to church and sit in front, you come early.
Oh yeah.
You come early.
You don't disrupt.
If you
service.
like be president, I'm telling you, you come early. If you're going to come to the praying ground, the Muslim praying ground, you come early if you want to sit in front. The governor of Kwara, for one reason or the other, is pictured sitting
at the back.
at the
the
back
back.
Yeah.
during the prayers yesterday in
Yeah.
Ilorin. So let's
President
go.
wanted to pray, sit in front.
He
comes
got there
early.
early. So let's go to this matter. You're there, and the people already sat in front. And of course, there are people who goes to, a former senator, 2-time commissioner in Osun State. He's not a known entity now, and a practicing Muslim, Senator Bashiru, is sitting in front somewhere. And they go to him and tell him that particular spot that you're sitting in is reserved for the governor. The man looks around. He understands protocol. I said, but there's no such protocol here. Anyhow, he gets up and moves to another place. Then they go to him and tell him he can't even stay in the front row. Come on, Mr. Governor. How does that happen? Now,
When you are the governor,
if you're going to take facts, if you're going to take
Do or
facts,
not do.
if you're going to go by facts, you understand, eh? If you had planned to be there, your protocol people would have prevented him from sitting down in the first place.
Long
yes,
before,
I
long
agree.
before.
If you had
yes.
planned to
Yes.
be there.
Yes, long before. Yes.
So let's say there was traffic in Oshogbo
Yes.
or Ede.
But his
or wherever.
what's it called would have been there.
Eh,
An
let's-
advanced team would have
At Grant's team too, they were caught in traffic.
in Oshogbo.
Yeah, now Third Mainland. Now if you go
In
through
Oshogbo.
if you go through Third Mainland now,
Oshogbo.
yeah,
and there's no-
Third
they
Mainland.
have a
Except
copter.
Osun State.
No, I think they have a copter pad.
No. Copter is only for
Wait,
VIP.
in the
I
same
only
Osun
asked the
State.
question.
And now
The
there was
same
traffic
Oshogbo
now.
that we all know.
Is
Traffic.
it your traffic?
Traffic.
Boy, it is our own Oshobo, right? I think you should stand by that.
Anyhow,
Yeah?
protocol people were not on ground. So the man sat.
Yeah.
I asked him to move, he moved. Then you want him to move completely away from the front row. The man stood his ground and said he's not moving. Now the
You don't
videos
get angry.
the videos
and
of
you leave.
the videos of the governor on his way there, going back to his car, then going back again,
Yeah.
then leaving.
Then leaving.
The videos are out there. At no point in time did we see anybody physically threaten the governor. In fact, when he was leaving, he was being hailed, and he acknowledged it, and he was on his phone, and he just kept on moving away. Do you understand? I feel that Mr. Governor had misplanned and executed this stunt. It's a very terrible put together stunt, and I think that Governor Adeleke didn't handle the situation well. My opinion. Now, when you speak to, I called up a few of my friends who are Muslims, and they kept on harping on the fact that there is no preference for anybody when you go to the prayer ground. If you want to sit in front or you go early.
Everybody levels up.
So, but even if you wanted to sit in front as governor, you should have sent your protocol person,
Yeah,
your
because-
advanced party, So I feel all of this doesn't look good on him. Now the worst part was the videos that we saw of the prayer ground being shut. Nobody could go in or come out.
Security. Yeah.
Yes. Prayer ground.
Prayer ground.
I think that's sacrilegious.
I agree with you, particularly when it's I don't know. I respect Salah a lot. I don't come from that factor. For me,
You know why?
For me,
two
I-
reasons
I-
why
I
you
re-
respect
I
Salah.
respect. Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna butt in here.
Yes.
It's because one, there's plenty meat, correct fried
Okay.
meat.
You're speaking for yourself. Okay. One.
Then the
Ah,
second reason
So
why,
if you say they bring 5 minutes now, you say no.
the second reason
for
why,
those who have teeth too. Yeah. Go ahead.
the second reason why you respect Salah a lot is that it scores a lot of nice goals for Liverpool.
Oh. Sure. I don't feel like ending this show here, but don't force me to. No. Shall I listen? No, this is it. This is it. As I've always said it here, and I keep on saying it, that I grew up within a community where we had Christians and Muslims.
Side by side, baby.
Oh, not even just side by side as flat to flat. Some flats there in Surulere in those days, we had rooms being shared by 2 or 3 families in the same flat. That was when the area they call New Lagos. Okay, families came and they agreed to buy one flat and have their people. So you had them commune together. It was just a given thing, yeah. And we grew with our seasons and festivals. We grew with. I said it here before, and I'm repeating it, that I learned most of the things I got to know about the Islam I learned it from the communities, the leaders. They will sit us down and explain things to us. We knew from the beginning that when it comes to even fasting, Muslim fasting, you have to respect a particular time of the day that they are going to fast. These are the codes for me. And we grew up with those things.
Yeah.
Another thing I found very interesting was this Yidi thing that we were talking about. And due respect to them, because I found people were levelers. The man next to you, when you are praying, you don't know him. You don't even know where he's from. And everybody is doing the same thing at the same time. So when we begin to introduce, official or state officialdom into things like this, it worries me. And I'm asking questions, when did this change? Who changed this idea? So people have to be mindful of this and that. But as you said, we respect the state of the governor, we respect the state of the president when it comes. But there's mostly an advanced party to tell the people, Baba is coming, and these are the things you have to get in place for. But if there's no advanced party explaining that, okay, then for me, it's a come-see-come-sa situation. You have to accept what is on ground and move on with it. But it was, and look, that ceremony itself was huge.
Okay,
it was huge, and we had to respect that.
The first thing for me is, first thing that it showed to me is whatever Governor Adeleke wanted to prove by going to the ground to pray yesterday, it definitely showed that he was not for what we all know, that he's not a Muslim.
No, but his name is Nuruddin.
His name can be Nuruddin, not a Muslim. I have a Muslim name. Okay. People have Muslim names. I don't. Do you understand? If you're really a Muslim, we know that
Are
Ramadan,
you talking about practicing now?
Yeah.
Or something?
If you're a practicing Muslim, you know that Ramadan there's fasting.
Yes.
Then a few weeks, there's a number of days right after Ramadan that this is what we in Nigeria what we call Ileya, and it symbolizes the celebration of a new Islamic year. And barring any circumstance, any other thing, in fact, nothing is done until after you go to Eid to go and pray and come back. Absolutely nothing is done. That is how much, how sacred it is. That is how important that prayer is.
Very. Yes.
Nobody does anything until after you get back from the praying ground. So, if you really wanted to go there to pray, anybody's shenanigans will not move you to the extent that you will get angry, get up, and not pray that day.
And lock the place up.
Locking the place up is after.
Yes.
Like you said, same yesterday, we saw the governor of Kwara State sit at the back. Because at that point, it's not about you being a governor. It's about you being a Muslim.
Because you're before God.
And doing what you're supposed to do at that point in time.
You're before God.
I think it was completely disrespectful to the Muslims of that state, to the people that came to pray at that place yesterday, and to cause a scene. It was completely unnecessary. And then you had to lock it up, ask people to come and arrest somebody. That sounds like someone that is a little power drunk to me.
Then to add salt on injury, you put out a statement asking people to live in harmony. That your what like?
Are you living in harmony?
Live in harmony. Oh God, I beg.
Anyway, moving on from that, talking about people in states. Oyo State, just quickly wanted to move on to Oyo State, where there was a story that broke last week about the governor wanting to carry out something that the former governor had done that a lot of people are kicked against, and it was basically to break, or more like decentralize the Olubadan stole and all that. And that story, it came out like a rumor and all that, and there wasn't like so much substance to it, so everybody just moved on from it. Now, one person that when Governor Ajimobi tried to do it when he was governor, then one person that really kicked against it was former governor Rashid Ladoja, who is in line to be Olubadan himself.
Okay.
He has now also now come out to say that he's not interested in anything that this governor has to do, that all he's interested in is being the Olubadan.
He has declared his intention.
It's not by intention. It's
his right.
It's his right.
Okay,
yes.
he's the next, yeah?
I don't know if he's next or the second, but he's really close to being Olubadan.
Olubadan, okay. I need some, enlightenment personally.
Okay.
And the question for me is that what's the implication of that decentralization?
So, with the
of
little that
yes.
I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, is that once they take some people out of that Olubadan lineage, I think what they want to do is promote the Olubadan stool to a first-class king who is not at the moment. Then there will be smaller kings that, of course, the Olubadan is the most senior of them all. But then also, there are also less people that are in line to be Olubadan. I think one of the things that is probably going to do is that we, maybe for the first time in a long time, we'll probably see younger Olubadans. They're always very old.
And that's because they really have to
wait
be on
in
the
line.
queue,
Yeah. In fact, a lot of
Be on the
people
queue.
have just moved because there are a lot of people that have died in that, and not because one person dies now. Maybe the person's son stays in that state. No, the person's son goes back to go and start
really?
killing from. Yes.
Oh,
It's not that because the father was number 5 or number 4, and then the person dies before he becomes Olubadan, or maybe his son will now stay at that number 5. No.
he's going to,
going
as I say,
on.
toe the line.
Going back again. It's a very interesting monarchical system. It is a very it's a very arranged one. There is very disciplined. There's no fight about it. Everybody knows who the next Olubadan is and who the next Olubadan is, or the next up until the 40th. Everybody knows. There's nothing to mossy-cord about. But decentralizing it might actually help a system. And then with how big Ibadan is, I think we all know that even these kings are one of the closest people to the people. There might actually be more advancement. There might actually help a little. There might be a little bit more development if more kings like people have more access to the king. Because how many people even know where the Olubadan's palace is? How big Ibadan is? That you will drive to some places in Ibadan. You drive 2-3 hours to go and see the Olubadan. That's what I feel. But anyways, the former governor Rashid Ladoja has now said that he's not interested in all that drama that anybody is going on about. That he was going to be, he wants to be Olubadan. And let me quote him: "Olubadan crown is my only interest." Anyway, let's move on from that to an update of something that we had talked about.
We follow the story. Yeah.
I wanted to add a little bit to that thing, and the plan to upgrade these kings was not even Ajimobi's idea. It was something that was, written, that was researched and planned, and it was probably the only governor that had the, kahunas, that had the balls, that had the liver to try and carry it out. However, the Olubadan then didn't like the idea at all. So it's not just Ajimobi. I mean, Senator Rashid Ladoja. even the Olubadan did not like the idea. The Olubadan also made statements like, oh, he probably should have upgraded kings in some other places rather than the chiefs that he made into kings. 11 of them that he made into kings. So it's a tad bit complicated in a way. And there are arguments for and after. That's like the Lupard pointed out. But I just wanted to point out that apart from Senator Ladoja not liking the idea because he feels like that he has a very close shot of becoming, the Olubadan.
Actually, it could be very understandable.
That even the serving Olubadan then
didn't like the idea.
He didn't like the idea. We have a new Olubadan now, Abby.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he didn't like the idea too.
So anyway, we'll definitely see how that drama unfolds. As I've not been saying, there's a conversation that we had last week that there's now an update on it, and this is about banks asking for people's social media accounts. We actually did talk about that last week. Now there's an update on it, as the Nigeria Data Protection Commission has now said that they're engaging the central bank on its new directive to commercial banks to collect customers' social media handles. They're talking in a statement where the National Commissioner of the NDPC has said that according to the regulations with the newly signed Data Protection Act that the President had signed, there cannot be an indiscriminate collection of citizens' data anymore.
Indiscriminate?
Yeah, that there are now prerequisite steps of any data controller that must take before you can collect data of people. So it's not about those are things that we also a lot of people maybe did not know. It's not just about your data that has been collected being protected. It also protects you from being sure that it's not everybody that can even collect your data in the first place.
So you're not being forced to release it.
Yeah.
So to speak. Okay.
So what they're saying, according to him, he said that in the statement is, let me read a bit of it. It said the organizations in the law, there are provisions in the law to go against any data controller, be it private or government office, NGOs, hotels, but we are pro-citizens. The whole idea of this law is to protect the rights, the interests of Nigerians who are data subjects. We're engaging the CBN to let them know that what they've done is against the law, because there are basic principles you must meet to collect people's data.
Okay. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy that this has been said, and we need to pronounce it more. Let more Nigerians know that one of the recent laws actually protects you, and it gives you a strong footing. It gives you a massive foundation to build on. I said it, and I'm going to say it again. What is the essence of asking banks to collect people's social media addresses or handles? Or what exactly are you trying to achieve? I said it that day, I'm saying it again. The same social media that one person has 10 different social media handles. All he has to do is give you the one that bears his name. You want the one that bears. Hey, take
How
now.
do you link up then?
And if the man doesn't tweet or write anything on that, do you know the one he's using?
Yeah.
Some people have 5 Facebook pages, man. You don't understand. If you see the things that happen on social media, you start to wonder, like, man, thank God there was no internet during the time of King Solomon and the rest of them. Because it's funny. A lot of things.
Solomon, right?
And the rest of them, and the time of Lot. Don't look back, and he looked back.
Comic relief, right?
Yeah, I tell you, man. You hear people now. There's a guy who actually created a fake Facebook account because of his wife.
What?
His wife was on his original account. Created a Facebook account, and he was, searching for girls, on Facebook. Wife had created fake Facebook.
Okay.
So
And they both became friends with 2 fake accounts. The rest is history. Now,
are you telling me?
Now,
equivocators, both of them.
what exactly is central bank trying to achieve with it? That's not how to go. Like I said, I saw the future where, your social media could be a part of your banking profile, especially when it came to not necessarily bitcoins now, but blockchain technology. You see how you check some Twitter handles and there's this ETH, .eth at the end of everybody's name, because they're actually using their social media names for their NFTs and their, POSes, their online POSes and wallets, to transact the business. So you can tie your Twitter to some of those platforms and, do your transactions with it. But the same social media has not stopped. Do you know how many fake Instagram marketers exist? People who sell, goods, not services now, goods on Instagram. And you pay, and they're scamming people.
Oh yeah, it's happened to me before.
And they're scamming people. So you can't use social media as any security. I don't know how you want to do it. How?
Somebody must have thought.
So what was the idea behind it?
What's the idea?
I like the fact that we have systems that are questioning people, because we have come to a certain point where it almost feels like there's some agencies or what's it called that you can't question. CBN said it, and that's it. Now there are laws that are like, okay, somebody is checkmating the CBN, like, okay, you can't do that.
Yeah, because again, this was the mistake a lot of Nigerians made. These are the mistakes we made with sorry.
Oh God!
Really? I just always mix the man's name up. That's
no,
all.
You don't. You
I
just decide to just do you.
No. He mixes it up.
Yes, right.
The suspended.
Wow, you're now supporting him now. Suddenly,
it's the truth.
Emifi, right?
What's Emifi? What is Emifi?
The suspended. They said I can't say sacked. So suspended CBN governor.
Okay.
Eleme Willie. You guys know who I'm talking about. This is the problem.
Emefiele.
Okay, there, that one that he said. He named the heavy from my mouth. You see, the man kept on doing things, and nobody questioned him.
Yeah.
You just wake on one day and say, you cannot withdraw more than 500 naira. Oga. Did we question
him? Yeah, he said you cannot withdraw more than 20K.
Is it only that one?
The 20K said you even collect it.
Our dollar cards went from free transactions to
$20, $50 to $20 to now
it was $20 a day one time. A day. Then it became $20 a month.
Yeah.
No, it was daily.
It was daily. Yeah,
so look at all of these things. And I'm still waiting for this new person
to
reverse everything so that we can actually, do business online, and continue to thrive. So for me, question everything, please criticize. But when you do it, let it be fact-based. Sentiments can push you, but let it be fact-based. And that's why we were pushing against social media. Me, I don't get fear. I don't care. I'll give you Salah Rogers now. That's what I use. But there are a lot of people that I know that have several. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to know?
Yeah. Anyway, quickly, let's move on from that. Move on to Governor Obaseki has now decided to place the Lagos LASU best student on a salary and sponsor a law school program. I saw a video of that girl in an interview where she was talking about...
The girl that scored 5 points, right?
Yeah.
She's the first
at the LASU
law student.
Yeah.
From the
to get a first class.
Yes.
First class, yes.
So it's very interesting. I saw a video where there was an interview, and that she was like, before all this happened, that all her plan was to just travel out of the country once she was done.
See, I want to call the governor a latch-on kind of guy. Yeah, Mr. Governor, sir.
But it's good now.
Excuse me, I didn't say it's bad, but I want to speak my mind.
Okay.
Mr. Governor, sir, did you give this girl bursary? Did she get a scholarship? Oh, now that Lagos State has given her 10 million, You now say you want to give her salary for clinical and send her to law
Lagos
excuse me, wait
Edo
first.
State does not have Lagos
Excuse
money.
though, I did not disturb you when you were talking. No,
Edo State does
I
not
did
have
not
Lagos
disturb
money.
you.
Lagos
I
has
did not.
money.
I did
We all
not
know
disturb
Lagos
you.
has money.
This is what happens every time, even in sports. You will find Lagos nurture talents from fresh, then Delta State and River State and Edo State will come and poach these people and start to pay them a fat salary and everything. But you do not invest in nurturing or discovering these talents. Dear Mr. Governor Obaseki, you don't chop this one. But go back now. Look for those kids on the street that need your help. There are plenty there that need scholarships. There are so many of them in universities. They are finding it hard to even pay the fees in your state-owned schools. Stop playing to the gallery, people. Stop playing. It's not always politics. Let's do governance once in a while. So, how come this girl went through 5 years of law in Lasso and you didn't know she was from Edo State and she didn't get any support from you? But now that she's a star and she got 10 million from Lagos, you want to give her salary. How much is your salary again? Remove it from that one. Maybe we'll give you balance.
Let me explain my side of this. My side to it is that you are right, Shola. However, I am happy that there's a reward system coming up in place.
It's not structured.
A
reward system that is based on a whim.
Let me land as well.
Yeah, you will land.
The fact is this, that somebody is seeing the need to do this, right? Do you know how many we have had in the past as well? That really and truly nothing had been done. The latching on skills you talked about, probably true, because yes, not until Lagos State did A for this person that you realize he was from my state. So what can we do? And by the way, I don't even think it probably was a government decision initially. Maybe some citizen somewhere within the scope of that state just woke up and said, this is our daughter who's done well. So what are you guys going to do? And nobody's talking about other people. Let us catch them young. You said
That's
something which is cool. Yeah, that's it. That's where I'm going. Let us catch these kids young. Start
It's a
with
way
them.
to,
do not just
stop
don't hang
this.
there. Just don't hang there and wait for them to glide on their own.
Talking about
Support them from the beginning, right? Support them. Give bursaries. Let us enjoy. Let them enjoy these things. And move on.
For you to know that you are right, and the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying, the day that Lagos announced its reward for this lady was 2 weeks after we had heard the story that she had gotten.
The first.
That within those 2 weeks, Edo State did not say anything, but it was after Lagos said, the governor said, take 5 million from my pocket.
No, I think it was on the day of the.
It was after. You go and check the chronological arrangement. It was after Lagos made the pronouncement.
Oh yes.
After Lagos made the pronouncement of 5 million from the state, 5 million from the governor, that the Edo State governor and they did not give her any reward. He just said she's from their state. They're now announcing a week after that. So it's an afterthought. It is not structured. It is not planned. And that's not governance.
Anyway, let's move on quickly from that. Also, talking about an update, there's been some presumed human remains that have been recovered from the Titanic submersible wreckage.
May their gentle souls rest in perfect peace. Jeremiah Okorodu is upmost on my mind.
Yeah, so Nigerian boxing legend Jeremiah Okorodu has now died at the age of 64.
Jerry.
I remember the Olympics in 1984, Los Angeles Olympics in 1984, how we stayed glued to our TVs and we were watching, Peter Koyegwachi, Jeremiah, then was it the other guy, Jerry Uti, the weightlifter?
The Pa Uti.
Pa Uti was the wrestler. I think there was
there's an
Sunday Uti or Jerry Uti. Bottom line is, there were a few Nigerians that actually stood out, and Jeremiah Okorodu, aka Jerry Okorodu, was one of them. He got a bronze medal in 1984 in boxing for Nigeria at the Olympics. It was a proud moment for us. We had a song that we used to sing for him whenever he was fighting in my house, me and my siblings. I'm going to remind them. I'm not going to sing it.
Now, talking about him and his death at 64 is not really that old, and there's been a lot of story about his death, and at the moment that his family is owing, that they're never going to release the corpse and all
The
that.
hospital he died.
Hospital,
refused
there's a
to let
lot.
the cops
So
out, yes.
before that, there's already, if you go
Over
back
600,000,
on social media,
I think
there
600,000
were talks
Naira.
of trying to raise money for him when he was ill and all that. So now my question goes to, why do we have a lot of these things? For someone that was an Olympian and all that, he probably did not live a broke life.
He
at
did.
some point.
He did all through his life. Let me weigh in here quickly.
Even if this was him,
Yeah,
it
you're
is
going
not.
somewhere.
It is not. Maybe a few of them are peculiar,
Yeah.
but a lot of them, especially when they get into sports and all that, they're not particularly like dead broke. What happens? Is there a plan? What are they?
Let me
because
weigh in.
Regularly,
Let me weigh in.
sports,
So
I-
have
I'm
them
jumping
manage
at this.
manage their money. You mean?
sports, yes, sports generally has a very short lifespan. It does have a
Because
short
of physics,
lifespan.
yeah.
Yes. So what happens?
So let us be clear. Sports is divided between elite sports, which is the professional sports, and amateur sports. Now, Jeremiah Okorodu was popular as an amateur boxer.
boxer.
They don't get paid. They don't get paid. You get. So what happens is the reward system in every country, it varies from country to country. You win a medal, you get X amount. There was a time when Nigeria will tell you that they'll give you, for gold, you get 100,000 or 200,000 or whatever. Bronze, then the others, they'll get X amount for appearing.
What happened
Then
to that?
at
What
some
happened
point,
to that then?
Obasanjo happened. Obasanjo said golden handshake. It's golden
That's
handshake.
true.
Yeah, we remember that one. But
He turned the money thing to golden handshake.
let's put that aside. Now
Yeah.
let's be clear about one thing. Even when they went professional, sports was not that beneficial in their time as it was now. Most of the people who were in sports in the 70s and 80s, not just in Nigeria, in most parts of the world, but majorly in Africa, were not earning. They were exploited by the system, and there was a lack of money in sports at some point.
Yeah.
So it is sad and disheartening. We generally do not have a structure in place that protects our heroes.
Is the structure, yes.
We
Yeah.
don't take
It
care
is
of
the
our
structure,
heroes.
Shala.
That's what I'm asking.
So the question is very important and is germane
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
the future of sports in Nigeria. Now, for the younger generation, the people who came 20, 30 years after Jerry Okorodu, they met a lull where there was no sports activity at some point. Most of the sporting competitions that the Jerry Okorodus or this one could go to, the Eagle Belt and this or that, where they could make some money,
True.
were gone.
True.
Go to tennis, there was Dala hard court,
No more.
there
no
was
more
Ogbe hard
sponsors.
court.
No more sponsors.
Everything died,
Even state governments that used to support,
especially under the military.
They stopped. Yeah, they
It
stopped
died.
sponsoring. Yes.
So now things are
remember.
getting back on track.
Yes.
What we need, Jerry Okorodu 2 years ago in an interview was saying, I need a job. Remove 2 from 64. Means at 62, he was begging for any job. He said, I need a job to pay my rent and take care of my family. At 62. This would have been avoided if we had some kind of, reward system in place.
System, yeah.
A social security net that would cater to these heroes. The labors of our heroes past
Yeah, I
shall
agree.
never be in vain. What we need to do is to create some kind of insurance scheme for people who have, and there are still a lot of them out there, and they are struggling.
It's still not too late to do a lot.
Henry Wosu recently, a few months ago, got an apartment from Lagos State government. You understand? It's been through a lot.
But-
It's been
And that
through
would
a
have
lot.
come after a long time.
Yeah, but
You
those things
and-
need to be structured. I agree.
It has to be structured so that you capture these
You're
people.
sure that everybody
They-
gets round.
They did sports with passion, and
did.
they didn't really have money for it. You see, I'm not talking. There's another set of sportsmen who actually made money and squandered it.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about those ones. And even those ones, you still also need to teach them,
Yeah,
guide them,
to
to
help
guard them.
Yeah.
Sports
Let them
insurance
understand.
is what matters to me.
Exactly.
Whether you had it, you don't have. The fact
Exactly.
is, this is a shameful thing. Very shameful. Jerry passed on in a hospital. Hospital is saying, pay us.
600,000
We
or
will
we
not
won't release
release.
his
We won't
body.
release his
Yeah,
body.
it is-
A
it
whole
is-
Jerry.
It is very sad. It's very, very
Come
sad.
on.
Anyway,
Then again, now
it indicts
well,
us all.
I'm sorry, Doluboy. I know.
Yeah.
Don't, please just indulge me for 30 seconds. It is when people die that you now start seeing. You see that 600,000. I can guarantee you guys
Today.
if we talk about it a week from now, they would have raised enough money
No.
to have an event celebrating someone who needed a fraction of that to stay alive.
First thing first, Shola, you are missing it. They will raise the money first to release the cops. The money the guy
Oh,
could
yeah.
not. The first thing is to get the cops out,
It's-
and that 600,000 will be.
You're correct, Okumba.
anyway, that is very sad though. Hope that
Sad.
may his gentle soul rest in peace. On that note, that is all we able to take today on the boombar. Thank you for listening. Thank you very, very much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of the bar. Do you have a beautiful week?